When it comes to romance, variety is the spice of life. But one man's fetish is another man's misdemeanor. Act of Love Gone Wrong, number 15, is sportscaster Marv Albert. Marv Albert is one of the top announcers in the business. He called NBA games for NBC and was the much-revered voice of the New York Knicks and New York Rangers. Vanessa Perhatch was a phone operator at the Miami Hilton, where Marv sometimes stayed.
Vanessa, who was just a normal girl that he, would have sex with. And he apparently liked to make her do some pretty kinky things.
Over the years, Marv and Vanessa hooked up when their paths crossed in Miami or Los Angeles or Washington. But on February 12, 1997, Marv and Vanessa shared a night that changed his life and his career.
Marv was staying at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, a huge place for NBA players in Virginia, and Vanessa was coming to meet him that night.
According to court documents, Marv asked her to find a third party so they could engage in three-way sex. Vanessa testified that when she showed up at Albert's hotel room alone, he became angry. Albert's lawyers attempted to discredit Perhatch as a liar.
He expected her to bring another male to a sexual session that they had planned.
We found out that Marv Albert was involved in a situation where he had rough sex and bit this woman.
It seemed that Albert's passions got the best of him. He admitted in court that he bit Vanessa's back. He also agreed that she performed oral sex on him. But the sportscaster says it was all consensual. Vanessa's tearful 911 call that evening told a different story.
He's crying, come in the bed and start biting my back, and he wanted it. He wanted me to bring a new do a treatment or something. Wanted to bring a new man, and I told him I couldn't do that. So. Do you need an ambulance? No, but my back is so full of bites.
Marv Albert was arrested and charged with 1 count of felony sodomy. The maximum sentence for the crime in Virginia, life in prison. Initially, Albert vehemently denied any wrongdoing.
Marv Albert was immediately suspended from all of his broadcast duties with the New York Knicks and with the NBA while this case sort of worked its way through the court.
His trial began on September 22, 1997. According to court documents, Perhatch testified that sex played a major role in their relationship.
Marv Albert, who was kind of not somebody that people associated with sexual perversion on any level. I think that's what was so surprising about it.
The defense contended that Vanessa was mentally unstable and angry at Albert for getting engaged to another woman. The case appeared to be a classic he said, she said.
What's amazing about all of this is the fact that apparently this essentially is a plea bargain offered Marv in the first place. He could have avoided trial in the first place.
On day 3, the prosecution produced a surprise witness. Patricia Maston, a Hyatt Hotel employee, took the stand.
In Virginia, you can call surprise witnesses. Patricia Matson comes to the stand. 5 minutes later, the words, Marv Albert was wearing panties, came out of her mouth.
Maston testified that Marv invited her to his hotel room. When she arrived, Maston claimed Albert was dressed in women's underwear. She then testified that Albert attempted to keep her there, and in her struggle to leave, she ripped Marv's toupee from his head.
Patricia basically said everything, or backed up everything that the victim said, and it was the turning point of the trial.
Marv and his legal team called a timeout to regroup. The following day, Albert pled guilty to misdemeanor assault and battery. In exchange for the plea, the sodomy charge was dropped.
Well, we felt that under the circumstances that the dropping of the forcible sodomy charge, which of course is such a serious charge, and the dismissal of anything dealing with any kind of sexual offenses made it palatable for us to enter the plea to the misdemeanor. And that's why we did what we did.
On October 24th, Marv was given a 1-year suspended sentence. He also apologized to Vanessa, saying he never meant to hurt her.
From my point of view, I just felt that I had an endless ordeal for myself, my wonderful family, fiance, Heather, my friends, the supporters.
The judge overturned Albert's conviction after a year, wiping it from his criminal record. The damage to Marv's career was short-lived. Although he was fired by NBC shortly after the charges were made public, Marv became the radio voice of the New Jersey Nets and Monday Night Football.
It's telling of how good he is at what he does that we've all kind of put that behind us, and we like the way Marv Albert calls a basketball game.
Late night host David Letterman later asked Marv about the episode. Albert admitted to the host, quote, "I went through a curious phase."